This KGB agent here. It took a while, but he's pissed me off. Um, he gets James Binney on the show, or sorry, William Binney on the show, who is a whistleblower, known for um, getting us some information regarding what um, uh, the United States was doing for mass data collection. He gets him on his show here. Doesn't say anything about mass data collection or what it is that the government's doing. Instead, hijacks him with an architect from 911 Truth guy. Uh, yeah, I mean, if you pay attention to this stuff, you know this group. It's architects and engineers for 911 Truth, and it's stuff that's been like completely debunked, right? About the free fall thing. Hijacks him with this. And after he's got him to state that, listen, I'm not an engineer. I don't know anything about it. All I know is, it sounds like a good idea to do an investigation, right? And after hooking him on that, which is clearly designed to discredit him, he has the nerve to ask him, what do you think about the way that signing this petition will discredit you? And he does it with a smirk on his face. It's such an obvious setup job. I haven't made any accusations about Corbett yet, but I mean, like, this is about as clear as it gets. So, Vinny being, kind of suckered into signing this in order to discredit him, and essentially completely distract from anything he might have to say. So we've got it's a 15-minute interview or something along those lines, and there's not a single, like, the topic of mass data collection is like barely even brought up. It's like 15 minutes of 911 truth or garbage, right? Meaning that anybody watching this has been successfully distracted from something of actual importance, as he's going on about talking about how the mainstream media distracts you, which it does, sure, but this is just the flip side of it. He's kind of a high end Alex Jones, right? Whereas Alex Jones is I can't watch 5 minutes of Alex Jones. He's designed for the table pounding redneck buffoon, right? This guy is designed more for a slightly more bookish demographic, but ultimately, it seems as though they have the same mandate. They're basically working for the same people. So yeah, that's they get Vinny on and they discredit him, and then like they don't even talk about anything of any importance. Again, it's enough to make you want to throw something to the screen, right? But what do I think about the World Trade Center thing, anyways? Well, I'll be honest with you, I don't really care how it fell. I think it's pretty obvious that a plane hit at least a couple of the buildings. It's really not important to me what the physics behind the buildings falling is. What's more important to me is trying to figure out who it is that may have orchestrated it. And I do think that the story of it being a couple of crazies connected to some shady organization is questionable, to say the least. I am not willing to jump to the conclusion that it was the American government per se, so much as it may have been rogue interests that were aligned with aspects of it. I actually think that I think that the strongest suspect is the Germans. And I think that the reason the Germans would have done that is to crush the dollar. Um, I'm not going to get into this now, but if you follow the trail, it all seems to go through Berlin. Um, and all these people were kind of paid off. And I mean, I'm not saying the Germans did it, like by themselves, kind of thing. They may have got some help from maybe the Russians and maybe the Saudis, but it seems to me like they were the primary culprit in, like I say, trying to knock the euro down. And of course, the Americans took advantage of it, to extreme levels. At the end of the day, I don't think anybody really got what they wanted out of it. This who benefits thing doesn't always work out. Though who might have benefited is an interesting thought experiment at the very least. So yeah, I mean, like, does it matter if it was detonated or if a plane hit it, or like it's really of little consequence in understanding the ramifications of it. Like this interview here, where they bring Vinny on, and instead of talking about what it is that he's exposing, they talk about the architects and engineers from 911. The entire basis of that discussion is a huge distraction from the geopolitical ramifications of awakening the American beast. So I don't. I align somewhere in the 9/11 skeptic spectrum, but I actually take the position, as I do for a lot of these conspiracy theories, that the conspiracy theory that we're fed, like the mainstream conspiracy theory, is actually a part of the conspiracy. And this line that we're being fed, through Alex Jones and through James Corbett and all the rest of these people that seem to be connected to these shady institutions, is designed to keep you away from knowing what's really happening. It's a distraction. So yeah, this was brutal. Got that on my chest there. Heart still beating. It is. Okay, so yeah, this is awful. All just total red herrings all over the place.